So let's talk commercial real estate, and let's talk a little bit about residential real estate. So a lot of people right now in this high interest rate environment, they're taking out ARMs. They're taking out 3x3x7 ARMs, which is you're going to pay a certain interest rate for 3 years, then another certain interest rate for 3 years, and then you're going to pay the last interest rate from 7 to the end of the 30-year period. You got people taking out a 5-year ARM, which means you're going to have one rate for 5 years, then it's going to adjust every single year for the 30-year period. Then you have people who want a little bit more flexibility, take out a 7-year ARM. So now you have the same rate for 7 years, and then it adjusts, and then it'll continue to adjust, and then it'll reach its cap rate, which who knows what that cap rate will be when they purchase their home. And then you have a 10-year ARM where your rate is the same for 10 years, and then it adjusts as well. And then all these ARMs, just so you know, is an adjustable rate mortgage, which are all 30-year mortgages, but their adjustment periods are all different. I know this being that I was a lender. I used to refinance loans. And so a lot of the people who were taking out ARMs back when I was doing it, I do believe were smart enough to utilize it wisely. However, when I hear people taking out ARMs, I always take a step back, mainly because I don't believe that I would ever utilize this. Not saying that it won't happen in the future, but I just don't like the feeling of knowing that something isn't fixed, that is going to just adjust on you, and that I agreed to potentially having a higher payment. Now, the majority of people who buy this ARM are multimillionaires from what I've worked with personally, and they have multiple properties, multiple real estate investments, and a lot of these ARMs are on their primary residence that they don't plan on staying in after 3 to 5 years. They want to sell, and a lot of these people were in Miami-Dade, Florida, and so I'm talking about multiple millions, 2 to 13 plus million on these homes that just cost an exorbitant amount. And so when you look at people who might have bought a home for $3 million and then they sell for 2.8 instead of 3.5, is because they'd rather take a $200,000 loss than be paying a 11% interest rate into the future. And so in the 3 to 5 year period, we're going to see a lot of new millionaires get into properties a lot cheaper on the high end, whereas a lot of old millionaires who were just getting used to that money might be losing some of that equity and profit and gains. But all in all, you want to stay away from adjustable rate mortgages. We already know everything that's going on the commercial side, where office buildings are really going out of style. People are trying to, jobs are trying to force you to come back to work. They're trying to force you to go back into these office spaces. Well, all of that won't need to be forced, because people are losing jobs left and right, getting laid off left and right, especially in the tech industry, who wanted to stay home to begin with. And when you're not in the office, when your face is not being shown to your bosses and everybody else, you're the first people to be let go, because they don't know you. They don't see you every single day. They don't have that personal connection with you. They don't have that interaction. And so they just look at you as a number. They just look at you as somebody who can either help this business prosper or be let go, because you don't provide the value that is needed in order for this business to succeed, or you're easily replaceable and they will find that replacement. And so, again, being front and center, being able to show face, being able to put yourself in the right rooms and have the right connections will allow you to keep those jobs. But businesses are no longer going through the hurdle or begging people or giving them bonuses to come back into the office. You know, the real reason they want you in the office is not because of the productivity, but it's because they believe that if they pay for something like an office space, you should utilize it, right? I do believe that the world is becoming a lot more digital and will be a lot more digital, and it will get rid of a lot of that personal connection and personal interaction that we all have, and it will help the environment as well with less fuel usage and things of that nature, along with EVs coming into market. However, for the time being, a lot of these companies have 10-year contracts to own these office spaces and buildings. And so I believe that they will utilize them. But in 2033, I can see a lot more work from home, a lot more people not coming into the office. And there's still a lot of hybrid options for people these days. And so understanding where you're at in the economy, understanding what the commercial sector is going to be doing and everything that will transpire within that is important and pivotal to understanding where we will be going in the next decade. So even commercial real estate is being severely affected because you have people who are going to get a rate adjustment from 2.5% to now 8%, 9%. And with commercial real estate, it gets affected in a way where if your cash flow was 10,000 and now you have a 9% interest rate, that adjustment is going to take that cash flow from 10,000 to maybe 6 or 5,000. And that 6 or 5,000 cash flow is going to affect what you can sell your property for, because now your cash flow is significantly less. And on your balance sheet, nobody's going to pay a premium for a property that cash flows half of what it used to, regardless of evictions, regardless of non-payment, regardless of all the other factors on top of repairs and everything else that is needed to sustain a commercial real estate apartment complex or building. So there's a lot of moving parts that will happen in the next 3 to 5 years on these adjustable rate mortgages. Just be prepared and be ready. If you're saving money and you're getting a 5-4% return and you're investing digitally in dividend paying and growth stocks that will generate you a 7 to 11% return yearly, then you are going to be in a great position to take advantage of great deals that will be hitting the market. You see, I'm still out there. I was going door to door, looking at properties, still got to do my analysis and things of that nature. But at the same time, I understand that it's no rush for me. If someone says no to my offers and I am putting in offers, I am saying, hey, I'm willing to bid this, I'm willing to bid that. But in all reality, it's still a buyer's market. In 2023, it's still a buyer's market. People still believe that they have, it's still a seller's market. People still believe that they have the leverage. People still believe that they don't need to reduce their asking price. People still believe that they can charge as much for a new build as they would a duplex just 2 streets down. And I'm telling them, I would rather have the duplex than the new build if you're not willing to go down on your price point, especially when it's the same cost. It makes 0 sense. And I know I can get more from a 2 unit than a 1 unit. So from a cash flow perspective, I need to take that into consideration. But also when owning a duplex, I need to also understand that my buyer is a different type of buyer than someone who is willing to buy a new build from me. And the appreciation that I would get from the new build is much higher than I would get from a duplex. So understanding both selling points is very key when you're an investor. And if I can get a new build at maybe $30,000 to $50,000 less, which they're not there yet in the negotiations, but they will be when they see that it's not selling. And we'll see how quickly they're willing to let go of this property. We will see. But if you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube and Rumble, and I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.